Hey there, I'm Celine and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while again, which I did not mean for it to be a while. After that life update video I had posted, probably a couple months ago at this point, I intended to get back to my regular weekly posting schedule and to ramp up my Instagram. That didn't happen, as you can see, but I'm not going to make any promises right now because I am just in a weird season right now. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit, but I hope that I can come back to this and regularly post on here again because I do enjoy it. This is something that I do enjoy. It's just that with this channel, I have not had inspiration, I guess. And maybe you also follow me on my book channel, and I have posted on there definitely more than I have posted here. That's really where I started, and it's somewhat easier because with that channel, I just basically talk about everything that I read or watched in a month, and that's just like, okay, the content idea is already there. I don't have to come up with anything. It's just basically reviewing books and movies and TV shows and whatever. But here is where I need to really think about things and plan out content and topics to talk about and write up scripts. But yeah, this video is just gonna be super casual. I did not even plan or intend to film today. Even in like the near future, I was just like, I need to get back to filming, but I don't know what to film, but eventually I'll get to it. It was just kind of on the back burner, but all of a sudden, like 10 minutes ago, I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna film and just talk about something that's been on my mind, or multiple things that have been on my mind lately, and just super casual. It's a hair wash day, so my hair is not in tip-top shape, but I was just like, you know what, I don't even care. It is what it is. I didn't put makeup on today, and like, even though I don't do that much, it's like I can't be bothered to bring out the mascara and eyeliner, so here we are, just super casual in a sweater. I'm still wearing a dress because I don't know, if I'm not wearing a dress I feel weird. Anyway, super casual. We're just gonna have a heart-to-heart conversation while I crochet because I have a big market that I'm preparing for, and basically any waking moments that I have to crochet and that my hands aren't like occupied with dishes or anything else, I'm crocheting because I have a lot to do. So grab your art project if you are also creative, or if you want to draw, that's also a creative thing. Hello. If you want to turn this on while you bake something, go ahead and do that. It's not like super, just treat this as a podcast, okay? So anyways, I will go ahead and get into it, but where do I even start? I think I'll just pick up wherever I think I left off on that life update video. Basically the gist of that was that I took a break from uploading on YouTube, and that was mostly, I think I might have said it in that part, but it was that I was just in a rut in general, and I think the root cause of it, and it's a similar thing that I've been feeling with this unintentional break that I have taken from YouTube, is that I have been in a rut that I feel like I don't have any inspiration. I don't have anything to talk about on this channel, and just feeling out of it, honestly. Like at that time, it was like a few weeks since I hadn't picked up my Bible at that point, and I really sum up that season to that, me falling out of my, I don't want to call it routine, but for lack of a better word, routine of reading the Bible every day and reading the physical Bible, because something about me is that I'm a physical book reader. As we can tell, okay, the other bookshelf is full of books as well. My sister always says that, like, if you were a Disney princess, you would be Belle. And that's like the best compliment, okay? I love Belle. Anyways, see, this is a tangent that I talk about. I like reading physical books. And you know, I have a Bible app on my phone, but that I like to treat more as like, okay, I'm out or I don't have access to my Bible for whatever reason, then I will pull that up. Or if I just want to, you know, pull up a reference thing really quick or cross-check translations, things like that, that's what I like to use that for. But sometimes I will just be like, I can't be bothered to go and grab my Bible from my room. And, you know, that I started doing that, and that it ended up being that I didn't even pick that up at all, because I feel like I don't get as much from my Bible reading time if I do it on my phone. After I had posted that video, I got back to my regularly scheduled programming in my real life. I got back to my regular routine and I was back on it. I was back on my A game. I felt like I was getting on fire for Jesus, Celine back. And then, like I said, life got quote unquote busy, and suddenly I didn't have the time to read my Bible, which sounds so bad. Every time I say that out loud, I am just like, whoa. Like, I don't realize how bad some of these things are until I say it out loud. I'm like, whoa, I haven't read my Bible in a month, my physical Bible. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Meanwhile, I was reading all these books and watching all these shows. Well, not really. I'm not really like a watch TV person much. I watch like YouTube, and sometimes I will watch like a movie and a TV show, but I'm a reader. That is my thing. And so I was like, I'm not gonna pick up the Bible right now. I feel like reading this fun little fictional story that I am so engrossed in right now. And, you know, genuinely, life did get busier, like more eventful things started happening, and even right now, life is busy. But I have just felt a sort of conviction lately that I am very lukewarm. And saying that out loud, saying I am lukewarm, oh man, that's sad. You know, in Revelations, it talks about they were neither hot nor cold. And I definitely don't want to be cold ever. But being lukewarm is just like, something about that like breaks my heart extra, just because I know what the difference feels like. And just imagining one day being face to face with God. And I mean, I have all these sort of little fears, like, okay, I have this weird fear of bugs. Okay, that's one thing. That's in the grand scheme of things, it's a small fear. Okay, and chickens. I'm getting over the chickens thing though, because it'd be great to have chickens one day, but we'll work on that. Anyways, fears is like natural disasters, that's another thing. Fears of being, you know, abducted. That is like a fear that I have always had. I am just so scared of that ever happening to me or somebody who is close to me, or just in general. Like every time I get an Amber Alert on my phone, my stomach drops, and I can't eat, and I just get shaky and just afraid. And in those moments I just have to like stop and pray. Like first off, like pray for the whoever it is that they are sending that message out for, and for the family who wants to find their child. I just have to stop at that moment and pray, because otherwise I get just so fearful and anxious. So I have fears like that, and fears like, well, what if I never become a mom? What if I never marry? That's obviously a desire of mine, and I guess you could say it's a fear of mine. Like, what if I never marry? What if I never have children? Those are like two of my biggest dreams, and it's a possibility, you know? Anything can happen, and I am not the author of my story. God is. But all of those things seem minute and so minuscule in comparison to one day to be in the presence of God. And if he says, I never knew you, that to me is something so scary and sad. And right now, I feel like if that moment were right at this moment, just being completely honest, that's what he would say. Because I have been so just living 1 foot in the world, 1 foot in faith. Truly, I feel like it's just since that first rut that I was in, I thought that I was getting out of it, and then I just swung right back into not getting in the Word and supposedly being too busy to pick up my Bible. And really the reality is that I was letting the part of me say that, like, I don't feel like picking up my Bible right now, I'll do it later, and I kept postponing it. I let that part of myself win, and I've continued to do so. And that is how I end up here. And every time this happens, I'm like, how did this happen? How do I feel so distant from God? That's how. So recently, I have, like, this has just been the past week, I have been kind of struggling through it. I'm gonna be honest, like, I have still had that voice in my head that says, you don't feel like waking up a little bit earlier right now to read your Bible, because I like to read the Bible in the morning, like first thing. You know, it's summer right now. I can sleep in a little bit more, but, you know, before the rest of the day and the rest of the events of the day get started, I need to, you know, be up before that if I want to get my Bible reading done while the house is quiet. Yeah, there's still that voice inside me that says, you don't feel like doing that right now, do you? Like, just turn back over, turn the alarm off, sleep in for a little bit longer. But I literally have just been forcing myself out of bed, no matter how tired I am, and I'm getting sleep. I am getting sleep. Some nights I'm not, but most of the time I get my sleep. It's not like I stay up like super duper late. It just more so is a discipline thing, and I think that is something that I am needing to work on. And I think what has this time around convicted me in the first place is that I have kind of been really bad about self-discipline and just keeping myself accountable for different things, like whether it be fitness. I'm trying to get back into moving my body every day, doing something active, eating better, not making so many baked goods. I mean, I love them. I love baking. But you know, we can't have those treats all of the time. And then in regards to reading, like, it's fun and all to read these amazing fictional stories that I love so much. I need to get back to reading my Bible. And so yeah, like I said, for the past week, that is what I have been honestly forcing myself to do it until it feels normal again. Another area of my life that I have been trying to make a switch in is with music. I'm pretty much always listening to music. Like I find it kind of hard for me to sit in complete silence now. Like even when I have my Bible time, like pretty much the only time it's completely quiet for me is like when I go to sleep and whenever I am in prayer. That's the only time that I like to have complete silence, because I feel like, I don't know, prayer time, I need it to be quiet for me. I don't know why, but that just is what it is. But like when I'm reading my Bible, I like to have a worship instrumental playlist going on in the background while I read. That's just something that I enjoy. And for me, okay, music, I don't listen to artists that, you know, put a lot of explicit words in their music. I don't prefer that. That's just not my music taste. So I'm pretty much like all over the place with my music taste. I guess consistently I don't prefer rap, and that's because it tends to have a lot of those like words and themes that I don't like listening to music about. So yeah, so it's not like I'm not listening to music that is like inherently bad, okay? But there's still a difference between a good song and Christian music. There still is a difference. So something that I have been trying to be conscious of is, well, I like to stay conscious of what I'm listening to, and I always like look up lyrics to whatever new song that I like, just to make sure that it's not like saying something interesting. Leaf blower. Still going. Okay, we're just gonna continue. Yeah, music. So for me, it kind of takes an effort for me to listen to Christian music most of the time. But it really does make such a big difference. For me, it's reading my physical Bible, and listening to worship and just Christian music the majority of the time. I still do, like, I enjoy listening to a bit of Noah Kahan and what's his name? Like, there's this one song that I really like, Belong Together by, I forget his name, but I really like his music as well, like Matt something, is it, or is that somebody different? Anyways, I like Noah Kahan, I like him. I like, a recent one that I found is Heather Little, The Ordinaries, I think is that the name, and there's this other band, the Walking Roots Band. Those are a few of just like my favorites. The Hound and the Fox as well. Okay, I had to put them in there. I have my secular music favorites, and I definitely still like to listen to them, but when I make the switch to, like, from mostly listening to that to mostly listening to Christian music and just sprinkling some of my favorite secular artists in there, it really does make such a difference. And I feel like for me, that's a really big part for me is music. So like I said, it's gonna be a process. And right now I am just really trying to shut out the part of me that the enemy is trying to infiltrate my mind, that you don't want to pick up your Bible right now, you don't feel like it, so just don't. Go and do something else, I'm trying to shut that off and just ignore that and force myself, even when I am so close to turning around and going back to sleep, to just get up. Like this morning, for instance, I was like, oh, I'm so tired, and I was about to do it, but I was like, nope, we're taking the covers off, I'm getting up, and we're starting the day. I'm gonna grab my Bible and I'm gonna go upstairs and read. That's what I did. I just literally had to force myself out of bed, and hopefully, I know things will get easier and I won't have to force myself. It'll become something that I need. Time in the Bible is something that we all need. So I know that it's gonna get easier, and now that I have just started, it's still not easy. I still have a lot that I need to change and work on, but we'll get there. Along with that, just me trying to come back to not being lukewarm, I'll just say. I was so convicted by a post that I saw a couple of days ago, and I wanted to share because it just sparked a lot of thought within me. And it's odd because it was like the first thing that came up on my For You page, and I'm pretty sure it's like a older reel by this creator. His name is Miko, if that's how you pronounce his name, Miko J. Jackson. He does these kind of like devotional reels, which I think are cool. This one in particular is where he was talking about the passage in Matthew where we have Jesus and the disciples on the boat. And he was talking specifically on like how Peter finally jumped out with Jesus, but then he mentioned the disciples who stayed on the boat. And he was saying, why did they stay on the boat? Because they were comfortable with where they were at. And that struck a chord with me. I was like, I am at a point in my life right now where I am just comfortable being on the boat. And I'm like, no thanks, I'm not gonna jump in because of fear or like whatever it is. I'm comfortable on the boat. And at the end of the devotional, he just sent out a call to, are you going to stay on the boat, or are you going to jump out in faith and share your faith with others? And that's really why I started this channel. I initially started YouTube on my book channel, but then I was like, you know what? I want to start a personal channel where I still talk about Jesus on that channel still, but some place where I can have more in-depth thoughts on and talks on, for instance, like singleness. Like that's something that I was previously like super inspired to talk about and share my experience with, just for other single Christians out there to be able to relate and for them to hopefully encourage them. I hope to be an encouragement to others. That's why I started this channel. And I realized that I need to get back on this because I started this with that intention and I need to follow through. Like I have an opportunity. Number one, like in this day and age, we have such easy access to so many people around the world. And I'm like, what is my account? What is that presenting online? Like whoever comes across my Instagram or this YouTube channel, what do they see and what is it a reflection of? Like, there are so many content creators on, let's just say Instagram. That's where I really do a lot of my scrolling. And I can very quickly kind of discern, like look at a piece of content and then I will go into that creator's main profile, and within a few swipes I can tell like this person is on fire for Jesus. And I look at my account and I think, what do people think of mine? Am I immediately a person that they can see, I see Jesus in her, or there's something about her, I don't understand what it is, but there's something more there, and like, what is that? And you know, something that I like to take into consideration is like, you might be someone's first introduction to Christianity and to Jesus. And so if that's the case, which I think most of the time, if you're coming to my videos, you are most likely also a Christian, but this might reach someone who isn't yet a Christian and might just be new to this, and somehow they found my video. And if that happens, I want them to hopefully see Jesus in my videos and be encouraged, not because of me, but because of what Christ is doing in my life. And another thing that he was specifically talking about was going out and sharing the gospel and sharing your testimony and talking all things faith. And for me, this is my opportunity to do that. But even in my life, okay, I think that's like my first priority. Is I have younger siblings. And when he first was talking about that, my first thought was, how am I sharing Jesus to my younger siblings? And do they see a reflection of his character in me? And I will admit, patience has not been one of my top virtues lately. Again, I think that's a symptom of me not getting in the word, and I tend to lack patience when I start to fall away. And so I'm like, well, my lack of patience for once, you know, lately is not really a reflection of Christ's character. So really at first I thought of them and what they see in their sister. I'm the eldest in my family, so it's kind of crazy that these like multiple human beings are looking at me and seeing what I do, and children copy behaviors, and I just want to make sure that they have a good example to follow after, and that they can see me and follow me, and that I can hopefully lead them in faith and lead them closer to Christ and further, I guess, influence their relationships with God. And then I also have this platform, like I was saying, that I have already started and that I can keep pushing. There are 500 and some of you, which is crazy. Okay, in YouTube numbers, that is small, okay? But to me, I don't even know 500 people, okay? Max, I know like 300 people, I'm gonna say. And that might even be pushing it. So to think that there are like 500 and I think 50 some of you watching this, that's crazy. And thank you to each one of you who does watch this. My videos, like, that is crazy. And again, I just hope that I can be an encouragement to you. I finally warmed up. Thank goodness. All the talking, I think, is what finally got me to warm up. It's funny, like, I can start a video being absolutely freezing, and then by the end I'm like breaking a sweat, and all I'm doing is sitting here talking. yeah, I guess when I get passionate about things, I'm like, I start talking with my hands and my temperature goes up. So there we go. But anyways, moral of this video, I guess, is to read your Bible. And you're never too busy to read your Bible and to spend that time. It's like, it's all about priorities. And I definitely find myself having my priorities all out of whack sometimes, and I need that little, I thank God for that, like, voice of conviction that I get, that little tap on the shoulder, like, hey, this is all good and dandy, but have you read your Bible lately? Yeah, so if you're kind of going through a similar thing, I hope that this can be that little nudge for you too. I will get out of this season, and as I get back into studying my Bible, not just reading it, but studying it, I hope that that will bring on some inspiration to talk about things that might inspire others and encourage others on here. So look forward to that. Hopefully I look forward to it. I'm planning on getting back to this, but we'll see. We'll see. Right now I'm really just going to, I wanted to make this video just all of a sudden, and I love how I completely stopped crocheting and I just started talking. See, this is what I mean when I start and I intend to do something, and then I talk about 50 million other things and I stop what I was doing. But I hope that this was a good chat. I feel really good after filming this, and I feel like maybe this is another step in the right direction for me to get back on track and to take in that piece of advice that I heard from that little devotional on Instagram to get out of my comfort zone, to jump off the boat. I have been on the boat for so long, and I felt what it feels like to feel on fire for God, and I want to get back to that. I want to jump off the boat. I want to get off the boat again, and yeah, it's such an amazing feeling when you're there, and I don't know how else to describe it, but it's purely just Jesus. And that sounds so cringy, and I can be like, oh my goodness, okay, but just for lack of better words, it's just Jesus. It's just God. Like, I can't explain anything other than that. The peace and just joy and contentment I feel in my life when I am in communion with the Lord and am in the Word and spending that time, and my priorities are more in line with, how they should be. There's just such a difference, and I am excited to get back to that. It's going to be a little bit, again, going to be forcing myself out of bed an hour earlier, 30 minutes to an hour earlier, to specifically spend that time, because truly for me, the morning is the best time. I have also been doing it before I go to bed, which has been interesting because I never really read the Bible before I go to bed. Like, I have made it a habit before to read it in the morning. Like, that was just my schedule, I guess you could say, and the time of day that I like to read the Bible. But I have a few different ongoing plans right now, and so one I have, I just read on my phone, while I have lunch or something, and then I had kind of fallen behind, and so I just was on my phone, and I brought out my Bible last night and the past couple nights, and it's been nice to read it at night before bed too, so we'll see, but I'm getting back into it. So if you are in a similar season as me, and you're trying to get back to the version of you that was on fire for Jesus, we're going to do it together. We're going to get back to it, and by the grace of God, we're going to get back to it, and hopefully that encourages others to do the same. If they see you doing that, people will see the transformation that happens when you are in the Word and you are in prayer. people can see that difference. I know they can. My mom has told me that she can see the difference in me, and reflecting on myself, I can see the difference in myself. So it's important. So anyhow, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this somewhat casual video. And I will see you next time, whenever that is. Hopefully it's soon. I hope and pray that it's soon. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, and I hope that this video was an encouragement to you, and I hope you have a very blessed rest of your day. Bye for now.